Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Brownstone. I'm your host, Dr. Michelle, and you are listening to Numbers Don't Lie. We learn to get out your feelings so you can make the best decisions for yourself, your family, and your business. Yes, I got my hair done. I know I'm a little new, a little fancy. I'm feeling a little bit fancy. So if you are listening on KCCR, the Brownstone app, you are missing out on my cute hairstyle. So get yourself on over to brownstoneworldwide.com to come check it out and let me know what you think of it. But this is still Financial Literacy Month, and we've been learning and talking finances and money all month. So, we're going to keep it going today because this topic is really at the heart of what most people want, which is freedom, something to leave for their family. And most time when we talk about generational wealth or leaving something to your family, most people know, I want to buy a house. I want, to leave something to my family. I want to pass this down. So in order to be able to do something like that or take a next best step towards owning a home, you kind of need to know how it works. What's the process? Because it's easy to some, but maybe it's really difficult for others. Or I think a lot of people have a misconception about the whole process in general. So maybe you've never even started or tried. Well, I have a special guest today that's going to help break some of those misconceptions, explain this home ownership process to you. So if you're a first time home buyer, I definitely want you to turn us up so you can know that it's possible for you and maybe some things to get you started sooner than you thought. So today's guest is going to be talking with me today about money talks, financial advice from a real estate agent. I know her. I love her. And I know you're going to know and love her too. Welcome, Brownstone family, Angela Gilliam. Hey, Angela.
Hi, Dr. Michelle.
Going.
Amazing. Doing great this morning. Yep.
You look cute.
Thank you so much. You too. You too. I love the hair.
See, y'all gotta come see me because she said she love it too. Okay, let's dive right in. Angela, could you tell us a little bit about yourself before we get started with the juicy stuff?
Okay. My name is Angela. I live in Houston, Texas. I'm originally from Detroit, though. So Midwest at heart, but I've been in Texas about 12 years.
Wow.
Now I have my family here that I love dearly. And y'all, I am a PhD turned entrepreneur. So I don't have doctor in front of my name. But,
Angela, I
but
had no
yes,
idea. Girl, what was you
yes.
studying?
I have a PhD in chemical and biochemical engineer, and I am now an entrepreneur in the real estate industry.
Hold on. Listen, y'all. Pause for the cause because this homegirl is super smart. Because y'all think I'm smart. When I be meeting people, I'm like, you said you majored in what?
Chemical and biochemical engineering.
Praise them, honey. Bless them. Because I don't think I would have lasted. I don't know. I don't know. That sounds harder than what I did. Well, welcome. I'm super glad that I learned something new about you. We already off to a good start. Now, let's get these people learned something about this whole real estate business. So, I'm going to dive into something that I think a lot of times people just count themselves out of the process before they even get started. And I think me and you have talked about this before. So, what are some common misconceptions that renters have that stop them from actually starting the process to buy?
So, Dr. Michelle, you got it totally right. A lot of renters count themselves out before they even start. And one of the misconceptions is it's that it's too expensive to purchase a home.
Wow.
They think that they don't have enough money, but with the rising cost of rent, they very well could afford their own place, but they just don't know because some may be scared to take a look and see if that's the case.
Hmm.
And another misconception is that they need a large down payment. They've heard people putting down 20%, 30% down, but they are unaware of the fact that there are FHA loans that are only 3.5% down, that there's down payment assistance programs that can also help them with the down payment. And another misconception is they don't have good enough credit.
Mm-hmm.
And credit is, of course, really important in the process, but there are programs that do lower credit scores. But even still, if you want to improve your credit, it is not going to take you as much time as you think it's going to take. So those are some of the misconceptions that I've found a lot of people are kind of holding back from jumping into the real estate market.
Wow. I'm glad you said that out loud because I feel like I've tried to articulate that to some people and I asked them some really simple questions and like I don't know, I guess they don't believe me because I'm like just because I don't look like you on paper, it doesn't mean this process is unattainable for you. It's like you can't really compare yourself to someone else. Like I think Angela made it very clear that it doesn't, I'm gonna say it doesn't matter where you are, because it does. It does. You need to be trustworthy with some loans, okay? But you don't have to be super wealthy. You don't have to have it 100% together to start the process. Thank you, Angela.
Yes, you're welcome.
So, what are some of the biggest mistakes that first time home buyers make?
So the one of the biggest mistakes first time home buyers make is waiting to get into the market.
Oh,
So they all people always ask me when's the best time to buy a home. Well, the best time to have bought a home or purchased a home maybe 2 years ago, 20 years ago.
yeah.
But of course that's past. But
Yeah.
here we are today. The best time to buy a home is right now.
Oh,
So the thing is, it's important for us to work together, find a home that you can afford, and start there. Because as you start there, start building equity in that home, eventually, you may be able to purchase something else later. But by waiting and staying in the rental market, and constantly just spending money on rent, you're never going to be able to build any equity or build any savings you can pull out of your home because you're paying somebody else's mortgage.
ooh, I don't think a lot of people understand that. Like, especially if you live in a large apartment complex. I don't think when I was renting, I usually stayed in an apartment. I didn't usually rent a home. And so it's so easy to think, not even think about it. Like, you just go to the rental office, pay your rent, and then you might get a receipt. And then you go on your business, and you don't really think about that there could also be a mortgage on this property that I'm helping the owners to pay down. Listen, y'all, if you're gonna be paying any mortgage, why not let it be your own?
It should be your own mortgage that you're paying off.
That is, I think that's really good because being that this is like we're in that post-COVID era and the market went crazy. And I know some of my friends jumped in and I was just like, what was y'all at 5 years ago? Especially okay, because Angela, I before I moved to Columbia, South Carolina, I lived in Durham, North Carolina. And Durham, North Carolina, it was like an untapped market for a long time. It was a lot of blighted homes there, but it's like a lot of people just older homes. That's really what it was, more than just like somebody didn't take care of it. It's just they're just been older homes, a lot of times older people. Well, after COVID, a lot of investors took interest in Durham, North Carolina, and the city looks totally different. So it now became super popular to buy something. Mind you, I had bought in 2014, so maybe I was good. But a lot of people just did it. They rented that whole time. And then once it became popular by everybody, that's when they want to jump in. And girl, do you know they was probably paying like two times the amount for the house and they would have paid maybe like a couple years ago if they would have bought. I'm like, y'all was living here the whole time. What you doing?
I think one of my mentors said that real estate is one of the only things that people don't buy when it's on sale.
Oh, that's
They
good
wait
too.
to they wait until it's popular. If it's
Mm-hmm.
popular, it's going to cost more.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna name any names, or I saw a popular artist back in the day, and it cost me $20 to see her back in 2002.
Mm-hmm.
But now that this popular artist is super popular, y'all tickets are $2,000. So,
We got it.
but real estate, you know who it is, but you want
Uh-huh.
to make sure that if you're able to buy, jump in the market. Because once your area gets flooded with people coming from California, coming from all New York City, coming down to Texas, when it gets popular, that's when those prices go up. So you want to get in. You want to get in now.
Yeah. And I mean, just kind of thinking about that, like, why do you think we wait until it's popular to want to get in? Like, what is it about? What have you noticed about renters slash interested buyers that it's just like, it's literally not on their radar until it's somebody else puts it in their face?
I think I think a lot of renters have gotten comfortable. They've just
Mm,
gotten comfortable and doing what they're used to doing. So if they've always rented, let's say their family, most of them are renters, and it's just comfortable and it's what everybody's doing. And
mhm.
not to say that people are being followers, but it's just, what you're around and what you're comfortable in, that's typically what you do. So
Yeah.
it takes either seeing other people or seeing the opportunity and knowing that it's possible for you. So if you see someone that's just like you in your same situation, and they're like, wait a minute, if they can buy, I can buy, that kind of opens people's eyes. Because I know I met with someone today and she was, she knows how much she makes and she's decided for herself, like, okay, renting is probably the safest thing for me. And
Mhm.
I said, no, rent is going to keep going up.
Well,
You need to get your piece of land with that
mhm.
house on top so you can take that same rent and start building for you and your family.
That's good because rent ain't doing nothing but going up, y'all. Like
Up, up,
they
and
don't
up.
rent is never on sale.
No. And even if that apartment complex offers you that rental special, you know that rate is not going to last for the
Okay.
next year. It's going to go up.
They baited you in. I got
Bait and switch.
listen, I think I got baited a few times. And I was like, and girl, that last time they went up in that rent, I said, I'm out. I'm out. Like, I no. What I'm not gonna do is keep spending. And this was back when like my rent was $650.
What?
That even
Okay.
back then, I was like, I ain't about to keep throwing this away. They went up to they were trying to go up to 700 or something. They're about to buy me a house. I give me a house for the same amount. Well, mom, give it to you. Nope, nope. I'm sorry, we can go in that rabbit hole forever, but that was really good because I just always wondered that, like, why people just wait. But if you need exposure, because Angela, you own a home, right?
I do.
So Angela says she has a family. She's from Detroit. If you got a family from Detroit, you know a homeowner. I'm from North Carolina. I grew up in a single parent household. I moved to a new state or city. So if you fit any of them categories, you know somebody like yourself, you can buy a home too. Okay. And I bought a couple. So you now know people like you. You
Exactly.
don't have to wait for no more examples. You want to connect with someone like Angela ASAP so you can at least know what's possible for you. Because you don't know unless you ask, y'all. Come on. Don't sit out in the game. Get in. Shoot. It's April, so at the Numbers Don't Lie podcast, we're going to be talking about financial literacy all month. So get ready to hear about all aspects of your life, from the mindset to family to real estate to investing. It goes from simple to complex. So get ready to hear from these experts, guys. They are phenomenal, and they're going to equip you with the information you need to take action so your next year can be better than this one. Get ready to count those coins and stack those ones because y'all, it's about to go down. So tune in to Numbers Don't Lie every single Tuesday and Thursday in April. I got some more follow-up questions, but you're listening to Numbers Don't Lie with me, Dr. Michelle. We are smack dab in the middle of Financial Literacy Month, and we are having our money talks and getting financial advice from real estate agent from Angela here. If you can find us on brownstoneworldwide.com, you can listen to us anytime you want. You can poke around and look at some articles. You can also listen to us on KCCR, the Brownstone, which is an app that you can listen to us anytime you want. You got music, we got some other talk radio. Come and learn yourself something, okay?
Another mistake I would say is not thinking about your plans for that home before buying the home.
Ooh, tell me more, because I don't think I did that when I was a first time buyer.
You want to just think about it. How long do you think you want to live here? Is this your, right now home, or is it your forever home? Is it a home that you plan on selling later?
Mhm.
Or is it a home you plan on keeping and renting? Because you want to make sure, if you buy a home, you may not have children, you may have no desire to have children. But if your home is in an area that has a good school district, that it has nice playgrounds around, access to different activities, your home is likely to appreciate better than if it's in an area that doesn't have those things. So
Wow.
if you're going to sell it or rent it later, just thinking about, what's the next plan?
That's a really good point. Because when you start describing it, I guess I kind of did. It was like I kind of did, kind of didn't. Like I didn't necessarily think about future plans, but I thought about my longevity because when I first got into thought, like when I first had the idea of purchasing a home, I first checked for they have like programs because Angela mentioned at the beginning, they got programs. So I was a teacher at the time. And so in North Carolina, they have like it's called like the Good Neighbor program where you
Mhm.
can get you a house 50% off. I said, okay. But between that and NACA and FHA, there was, rules about how long you had to stay in your home after buying it. So they ain't have no 50% off houses in the program. So I was like, okay, let me try NACA. China got on my nerves so bad. I said, I don't need y'all. But one thing that really turned me off was the amount of time you had to stay in the home. And I was like, well, I can't guarantee that I'm gonna be anywhere in 3, 5, 7 years. Like single, I was single with no kids. I'm like, I can't commit to that. And so that's what made me go the conventional route because it's just like I have the capital and I'm not required to stay here for this long period of time because actually I didn't. I bought that house and I think I closed in July 2014. Girl, I was moved to South Carolina by August 2015. So
Right. That's a good point to make because some loans are going to have stipulations on, can you move out and rent it out? Some programs that you get, you're not allowed to turn it into a rental property, that fast or
Mhm.
even sell it without a penalty. So
Right.
it's important to talk about that stuff up front.
Yes, absolutely. Those are really good. Okay. My next question is what strategies do you use to help your clients make informed and financially responsible decisions?
One of the questions I always ask clients are how much do you feel comfortable spending per month? Like
Mm-hmm.
right now,
Mm-hmm.
how much do you feel comfortable spending per month before they go get a pre approval? And I do that because let's say your pre-approval comes back at $350,000
Mm-hmm.
and that tells you how much you're going to spend per month. And that's a big, that may be a big stretch for you.
Yeah.
And because you get approved that much money, you may try to go and get that big of a house or even a $400,000 approval. You may say, okay, well, that's what they told me I can afford it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But you are the one that knows what you can afford. So
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about it. What's the number of how much you think you can spend right now? And do you have any money saved up? So if you tell me how much you can spend, you tell me how much you have saved, and then the pre-approval comes back and you're telling me you're going to spend that much, well, let's just have a conversation and talk about where the rest of it's coming from. If we have that open and honest communication, I want to make sure you're not buying too much home
Mm-hmm.
for what you can really afford.
That's good. Okay. So we talked about knowing your numbers. I had to bring it back to the show. So I really think that's a good point because I think people do make the mistake of looking at that pre-approval and say, "Oh, this is what the bank says I can afford. That means I can afford it." And like you said, you go out, you get this house, and now you're house poor because that's all you can afford is a house. That's not funny, but it does happen to people where it's just like they no longer can go anywhere or do anything because they're so concerned about make sure they pay their mortgage. So your house is no longer a joy. It's like a chore. It's a job now. Like it's just something I have to keep up so I don't mess up my credit. You know what I mean?
I know. And I had a good friend of mine who purchased the home. And after about a year of owning it, she realized that while she could afford it, she wasn't able to travel as much as she used to.
Mm,
So she made a decision to actually live with me for about 6 months, rented out her home, and then later on actually purchased a different home again, but now she had that extra income coming in. Because you don't want to stop doing all the things that you love to do just so you can afford the home.
that's
You
good.
may need to cut back and you may need to adjust your budget, but you should still be able to enjoy life and be who you are while you have this beautiful home.
I love that. Y'all, Angela said you should not have to stop doing everything. It's nothing wrong with temporary sacrifice. But the point is it's temporary. Like your house should not be a prison. So I think that's really great advice that Angela just gave because the goal is to help you secure generational wealth. It's not to make life harder for yourself or make you no longer be able to live your life because I got to keep up with this house. Okay. Any other things that people may need to be aware of when preparing themselves financially to purchase a home? Like, is there something they need to do a little bit different?
Well, if someone doesn't have a budget now,
Mhm.
before they purchase a home is a good idea to start and create a budget and start, putting different funds aside for different things because you're going to have home maintenance. Because now, if you're in an apartment or a home, you're not really having to maintain certain things. So start your budget so you can have your, home maintenance bucket so you can keep up with, you might need to pay someone to power wash the driveway. You may need to get your air conditioner or your furnace serviced. You may need to get someone to do a small roof repair. So start a budget so you really can start putting that money aside. So you will get some surprises when you have your home, but you'll be prepared for the surprises.
Let me tell you about one of them surprises. Yeah, I feel like I got a example for everything because I done been there. I told you we relate, y'all. So if I can get in the process, get through all this stuff, that means you can too. Okay. So once in my life, I mean, I guess you always are a financial coach. So like I was a financial coach doing it like a lot last year. And so, I'm pro budget, know your numbers. Comes back to the show, y'all. Like, even though I was doing money, it's all numbers, it's all data. And so when I bought my house that I was telling you about 2014, girl, I think I was in there. I bought in like July, but I think I moved in maybe like August or something. It was later because I did some renovations. Girl, the hot water heater went out. Like, I don't even think I was in there for 2 months. Girl, I didn't know what to do. It was like I don't know anybody that fixes hot water heaters. I'm like, what do I do? So I start calling some people. Girl, between them dang on parts and labor, the labor was just as much as a part, but it was like $800. I was like, this way. Now, fortunately, I had the $800. That's the thing. Like, I had the money to fix it. So I was not unprepared. Had I been unprepared, I'd have been taking showers in cold water or warming up my water, warming up my bath water on this. And I had to hurry and get it fixed because I actually had company coming over for the holidays. So when she says make sure you have that maintenance money, that's not a joke, y'all. Like, I had the money and I got a bonus at work, so I was able to pay for it. Praise God. But we don't say it in a way to be scary or like, oh, you're doomed, like you can't handle it. Like, it's not like that, but you just want to make sure you're preparing it. And one way that Angela mentioned to prepare for it is to make sure you set aside a line item in your budget to cover all those things, because your rent was covering that before. That's why it was so much. But now you can start to use it for your own stuff.
Now there are some home warranty companies that are good.
Mm-hmm.
Some that will take care of some things, so you will only have to pay a deductible when they come out. And let's say you have a leak and you catch it fast. Now you got to catch the leak fast and stop the water from running because you don't want further damage to happen. But they may fix that leak for you, and you just pay a deductible. So for a brand new homeowner, I usually recommend to ask for the home warranty and write that into the contract. To ask for the home warranty from the seller. And then at least you have that first year. If you
Mm-hmm.
decide if you want to keep it after that, but at least you have that first year while you're starting to learn how to do home maintenance, what you should be looking out for. You have that safety net there in place.
That's good. I love that. Y'all hear how Angela be taking care of her people? Listen, if you don't have nobody to negotiate like that and make sure, she said at least for the first year while you're figuring this out, y'all listen, y'all better get y'all Angela, okay? Y'all better get y'all Angela. I had one realtor do that, but I don't think I ever had one even bring that up. So that's fantastic. Y'all better get y'all Angela and stop playing.
So I'm gonna
Man,
let you know. I'll let you know when we walk the place and get the inspection. I will tell you. I'll do my best to negotiate repairs, but if they don't want to come down on price or help, I'll let you decide if you want to take that risk.
wow. Man, you kind of led right into the next question, which is, what do you say? Because what you just said could be a little bit scary to some people, because it's like, oh snap, like I gotta worry. $12,000 is a lot of money. Like, I don't have that, and that may be a little bit scary. So, what do you say to the people that are scared to start the process in this current economic climate that we're in?
I always say you won't know until you know. You have to go and get pre-approved
Hmm.
and see how much you can afford. You may be able to afford more than you think. And even if you aren't ready, I have lenders that will work with you to get you ready.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
they will tell you what's on your credit report and say, hey, you need to address these items. This is how you do it. This is what you can do to address it. And this is how much money you need to have saved. So you will get a blueprint and a plan to get yourself ready. There's nothing to be scared of. Just start.
So what I
Get
hear you saying is you need to know some information. You need to gather some data so you know how to move. I mean, honestly, that's all making data-driven decisions is. It's like you have to be able to have something to know what to do next. Otherwise, you're just guessing. So you heard Angela. She finessed it a little better. But that's what she said. Go ahead.
That's what I said. That's what I said. You don't have to have all the answers. What I find is a lot of people they want to learn all about every loan program,
Girl.
every type of loan, what they need to qualify, how much money they want to have saved, what house they can get. You will not know that information until you speak with a professional. So
That's
when you meet with me, I collect data from you. I'll speak with my lender, and my lender will then start researching. There's so many different programs that you can use and all types of different rules and stipulations each one. Even the lender is going to have to do research. So you have no business as a consumer trying to do it yourself.
that is good.
There are people that are getting paid to do it on your behalf. You just have to fill out a little bit of information and they will start working for you.
Come on, Angela, get us right. They already got to do the research. What you doing it for? Because I had a
What
friend
are
that did
you?
that, girl. Every time I promise you, it's like every time I talk to her, it was some new piece of research on buying a home she was doing. It's like, girl, just buy the house.
Someone said, oh, I found this one program, this one bank offers this or that. I said, why are you shopping and going from bank to bank? I work with brokers. They shop hundreds of lenders on your behalf. You don't have to go to hundreds of banks. You just go to one broker. They will shop 100 programs and lenders for you. So yeah, just get too much analysis, too much analysis.
And while you shopping, the interest rate went up on you. That's
The
all I'm saying.
interest rate went up. The home price went up.
While you researching. I'm sorry, that's not funny because somebody listening right now, that's you. I need you to go ahead and connect with a professional that this is what they do and stop spending so much. Stop spinning your wheels because to me, sometimes to me it sounds like it's fear. Like you're stalling because maybe you really are afraid of the process, or maybe you're really afraid of like you get in the house, like what's next. Because I'm not gonna lie, like once I got like that clear to close, and it's like, oh, something goes to close, it was just like, oh snap, this is happening. It's a moment of reality sets in. But once you get in the house, it's just like I'm a homeowner, and it's just like you're the mood switches back very quickly. So I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not gonna say that everything is super smooth, but when you have professionals like Angela just mentioned, that fear is very quick. It's just like I'm scared, but she got my back. Like I ain't never did this before, but they have. So stop doing all the research and just call somebody, please. Speaking of doing the research and calling somebody, Angela, could you tell us how they could connect with you? Because you gave out a lot of great information. You talked about common mistakes, all that stuff. How can people find you, get some more resources? Like just give it to us.
Well, I would love for you to connect with me on social media, on Instagram. I am Angela M. Gilliam, and that's Angela M. Gilliam. So that's Instagram. And then feel free to email me also. You can email me, drop me any questions you may have at Angela Gilliam at Angela. It's Angela at angelagilliam.com. So
Cool.
Angela at angelagilliam.com.
Did you have any free resources or anything?
I do. So I do have a free resource, which is the top 5 mistakes that new home buyers make. I spoke about a little bit of that during our interview, but I would love for you to take a look at it. I have a link, a bit.ly link. It's bit.ly/, the number 5, home buyer mistakes.
Nice. So, quick question. What if someone is out of state? They like what you're saying because people listen all over the world. They're in the US, but they don't live in Houston. Like, what can they still reach out to you?
Yes, they can still reach out to me. I work with a network of realtors all over the world. So reach out to me and I can connect you with someone else who's another like-minded realtor who is going to go to bat for their clients. So I can connect you with them no matter where you are in the globe.
I love it. Y'all hey, give Angela a hand. She was the bomb.com. She gave me more than I expected. So all the first time home buyers out there, or maybe you've already bought a home and you made some of those mistakes and maybe you've been afraid to get back in the game again. Definitely connect with Angela or someone like her so they can get you on the road to securing generational wealth because you're not going to do it if you keep creating it for someone else. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Numbers Don't Lie. I've been your host, Dr. Michelle. You're listening to us on Brownstone Worldwide, whether you're on Facebook or KCCR Brownstone, the app. I hope you enjoyed today's show. You can follow me at Mogul Beginnings on Instagram and Facebook. That's Mogul, Mogul Beginnings, spelled the regular way. On Instagram and Facebook, I have tons of things happening. You can click around the link in my bio, all that jazz. Well, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of the day, and I will see you guys next time. See y'all.